If you need a wide-angle zoom, this could be it. Hi there, my name is Peter Voisgaard and I am a professional photographer from Helsinki, Finland. And before we start, a disclaimer. This lens is a loaner from OMDS, so I loaned it from them. And like usual, all the things that I say are my own opinions and OMDS do not see this video beforehand. So everything that I say is my own opinion. But let's start with making a few images before we get into the specs. Very nice weather. And I think sometimes photography is just going out and observing the things and looking around. And I think I found something. This could be an image. I don't know, maybe that way. Can't really see that much, but enough to make the composition. Let's see how this one is. This is a little bit smaller. Let's do it from here. Let's see what this will look like. It's a pretty nice shape. This could work also with a lower angle like this. The light is pretty harsh. And here are the main specs of this lens. I have tested this lens before, and you might want to watch that video from there. It's a almost three-year-old video from a trip to Kuressaare, which is an island in Estonia. It was a really nice trip, and yeah, I did get some nice images, and you can watch that video because it has better images than this video. I will talk about that a bit later. But who is this for, this lens? I tested it also back in 3 years ago for vlogging. And I think it was quite useful for that because 9mm is plenty when you're doing this. You know, it's enough. It's you know, enough. The field of view, and that's really good. So for that it is good, and also it's a nice, as you can see, it's quite small, so it is really good for, you know, just a walk around lens, all around lens for photo walks and things like that. And street photography, yes, it all depends on what are your kind of like what do you call it? What are the field of views that you are more familiar with? Let's say like street photography. But it's a really good lens for landscapes also because it's really nice and small to carry around, and with the small body, it is really handy to walk around and snap some casual landscape shots. And of course, if you are more familiar with using tripods on your landscapes, goes very well with that too, because the field of view of that 9mm gives is quite nice. And also you have 18mm, which is also quite nice, and everything between. And that's very suitable for landscapes. And of course it is also a alternative to 7-14mm f2.8 Pro lens. Of course the Pro lens is better, but it's also a lot bigger and bulkier, and you might not want to get that. It's more expensive than this one, even though this is not, I would say, that inexpensive. It's a bit on the too expensive side. It's not very expensive, but I think it's a bit too much for this lens. So the worth of money, this is not perfect, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good lens. And as I said, if you need a alternative to 7-14mm, this one might be it. There is a sauna or some cottage by the sea over there, and I'm heading there. But before that, I will see if these, whatever these are, makes an image. Let's try this way. I think that one is okay. There's some overexposed stuff from the sea there maybe, so I may need to crop it a bit. But I was taken with the 18mm focal length. Take a very low angle first, in which will, of course, be a bit of a problem. Can't see a thing. Let's try that, and we need to chimp. Yeah, I think it actually need to be a bit closer. And from this, and let's have the sun there too. Not sure if this image would work. I don't even know what's in there, but let's try the. Whoops! Well, it's gone. And let's talk about the image quality. All modern lenses these days are good enough for most photography. So I wouldn't be too concerned about the image quality. But there are two things that I need to mention. Of course, the first one is when you use it full open, of course, stopping down a bit will give you better results. This is something that I could record and have it on every video about lenses. It's almost every time that stopping down will make the image quality just slightly better. Does it really matter in everyday life and when you're posting your images to Instagram? Most likely not. But still, if you want to go for that perfect image quality, stop down a bit. And then when I was out shooting, the sun was really bright, and even though it was early morning, the shadows and everything were quite harsh, and it was really hard light, and it had a bit of a trouble with that I have to say. Against the sun, photographing against the sun did make the image quality to be a bit less, and that's one part that I did not really could cope with that lens. I had it the other day also on my walk, which I don't have a special video about, but here are a couple of images that were taken in an overcast weather, almost raining. And as you can see here, the colors and everything looks a lot better when you don't have the sun straight at the lens. But there are two things. Stop down a bit, and if you can avoid photographing against the sun, then you're all set with this lens. It's kind of funny when I'm in the woods. To be honest, it's really, really hard for me to find anything to photograph. Even though you have been seeing probably a lot of things. Is there anything? What should I make an image of this? What would you do? It was nice to be out to do some photography, but I think I failed miserably. I can't even say the word. I missed that too, so I'm a failure today. But it was fun anyways, because I've been indoors a few days finishing a music video that I made. And from up there in the corner, on the top right corner, you can click and watch it. It's heavy metal, death metal music, so it's not for everybody, but I'm pretty happy with the video anyways. Go check it out. There's also a link in the description for that video. Like you have probably seen, the images that I made was not very good. And like I said just in the video when I was walking in the woods, that it was a failure when it comes to images. And there is a one lesson, like there is in every video, there is a lesson. And maybe this lesson is that when you are making great images, it's about you. You made those images. It's got nothing to do with cameras or lenses or any other gear that you might use. The same goes with when you're failing. It's not the camera, the lens, or any other gear. It's you. And this time it was me that was failing. So remember, gear can help you, but it's never gear that determines if the image is good or bad. It's about the image and it's about you and me and nothing else. So this was the lesson on this video. So my bad images has nothing to do with the camera choice or the lens choice. It was me not being at the right time at the right place and not having enough inspiration to grab good images. Sometimes, we fail, and that's all right. Because without failure, we don't learn anything. And then the conclusion of this lens. This lens is really nice, and I really like it. And many times I've thought that I might buy one of these for myself, but haven't got around to it because it is a bit too expensive for what it is. And I do have the 7-14mm f2.8 lens, which is my own lens, and I use that for the stuff that I would use this lens for. So for me, this might not be the lens, especially as I said, it's a bit expensive. But if you want a very solid, nice small lens for your landscape photography, cityscapes and all that, then this is a good option. If you don't want to get the bulky 7-14mm f2.8 lens, which is also quite a lot more expensive. Of course, both lenses have its advantages, and it's a good thing that we have choices. And as I said, it's not the lens or the camera that decides if you can make good images. It's you and me. And here is the video about this lens that I made 3 years ago. You might want to watch that if you want to see a bit better images. But hey, thanks for watching, and bye for now.